yeah, I got a haircut, by the way. Am I in focus? So, if you haven't heard, this is okay. It's so funny because if you haven't heard, there's a new Ridley Scott film coming out this year called All the Money in the World. It is about the J. Paul Getty scandal when his nephew got kidnapped and he had to pay a bunch of fucking money to get him back. And, you know, all that stuff. It happened in like the 70s or the 80s. I don't even know much about the story. But Ridley Scott made a movie on it, and it was... He kind of cranked it out pretty fast, and it was going to come out this year with Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Williams, and Kevin Spacey as J. Paul Getty. And before the shitstorm of allegations against Kevin Spacey came out, I was really excited for this movie because of Kevin Spacey, because this weird performance that he was going to be giving with all this prosthetic makeup and all this stuff, and All the Money in the World was getting kind of a lot of hype. I mean, obviously it did not stand a chance in Oscar season, but, you know, maybe Kevin Spacey would have had a shot at an Oscar nomination. And then this Anthony Rapp stuff happened, and the sexual assault allegations have been coming out, and Kevin Spacey has basically been blackballed by Hollywood, which is a good thing, because he's a piece of shit for doing what he did. But, the thing is, back in like late September or early October, they announced that All the Money in the World was going to be the closing night gala at this year's AFI Fest, which is starting tomorrow as I'm filming this. And this was the first thing they ever even announced about this year's festival, and then they started announcing more stuff. So, it's just crazy. About 2 weeks ago, or not even about a couple days ago, actually, the AFI Fest's Twitter page tweets a message saying that they're removing All the Money in the World from the festival. So it's just gone. It's not going to get its world premiere there. It's just going to get pushed out into theaters in December. And like what they were gonna do is they were gonna find some sort of replacement film to be the closing night gala. A lot of theories are suggesting that it might be Paul Thomas Anderson's new film, Phantom Thread, but I will talk about that once the festival is over, because I don't know anything about that yet. But I'm fingers crossed that's what it is, and if it is, I'm going to try and get some tickets to that. So, basically, after it was removed from the festival, some rumors started going around that it was going to get pushed to like February of 2018. So the movie would completely lose its chances of an Oscar race, or just a chance of being a part of the Oscar race. And it was just announced today that they're going to completely remove Kevin Spacey from the movie. How? The movie's supposed to come out December 22nd. Today is November 8th. How are they going to do all these reshoots? They said, oh yeah, we're gonna replace Kevin Spacey with Christopher Plummer, and we're gonna just completely reshoot all of his scenes. And they're still planning to get these reshoots done by December 22nd of this year for the actual. They haven't dropped the release date. I'm sure this was just a panic move from Ridley Scott and the rest of the production team to try and figure something out so that they could still qualify for Oscars. And I don't know how they're going to do it. It's going to be crazy. Like, reshoots of this magnitude have not ever been done this close to a film's release, I don't think. This has got to be, like, historically groundbreaking. I mean, yeah, there were reshoots on Woody Allen movies where they would recast actors or whatever, or like with what happened last year at Cafe Society when Bruce Willis got replaced by Steve Carell of all people. But this has to be like the most crazy, close to release date, quick reshoots I've ever seen. And this could either make the movie better or make the movie worse. It can make the movie better because, for one, Christopher Plummer is actually closer to the age John Paul Getty was when this whole thing was happening, so he could give a more interesting performance. But that's like a very minor chance of that actually improving the film. I love Christopher Plummer, but still, the thing that can make it worse is that this movie could be a jumbled mess. I mean, I gotta give it to Ridley Scott. You know, this takes a lot of balls to do this close to the release of your movie, but it could be a complete disaster. To the point where my curiosity to see this movie has skyrocketed through the roof because I want to know what the fuck they do, like, and how they do this. Because in order to do reshoots, you don't just like digitally impose Christopher Plummer in, because that would look terrible. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Ridley Scott to do something like that, because he's made some other questionable decisions in movies that just came out this year, like Alien Covenant, or like in Exodus: Gods and Kings, or The Counselor. Like this, you know, he's a filmmaker who is capable of making both great and terrible movies. So this could go either way, and it's kind of exciting because, you know, back when the trailer for this came out in like September or October, about 99% of my excitement for this movie was just to see Kevin Spacey play John Paul Getty, because of like just the craziness that he could bring to the performance. But now that, you know, Kevin Spacey is getting all this stuff, I was like, oh, he's a piece of shit. I don't want to watch him in like an Oscar performance. You know, he's great in Baby Driver, but like, unfortunately that movie has no chance at awards. And that was before, I don't know. I'm gonna have a hard time watching that movie now because of just the horrible things that Kevin Spacey has been accused of recently. But now, after this, I'm super excited to see how it turns out. I mean, it's probably going to be a giant piece of shit, but who knows? Maybe it could work, because it's not like you can just reshoot all the scenes with Christopher Plummer. You have to get Mark Wahlberg back and Michelle Williams back and all those extras back. Or you just have to reshoot the whole movie, which is practically impossible to do within the span of a month and a half. The movie was done. It was completely done, and now they have to reshoot it. It was ready to air next week on Thursday. It's just crazy. I don't know what they're going to do. Thanks for watching my weirdly unorganized reactions to this crazy film news story. I wasn't able to do a films I saw this week on Monday because I've just been so busy with work and school, and also AFI Fest is coming up this weekend, so it's going to be just ridiculously busy for me. I did see Lady Bird, and I'm seeing 3 Billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri tomorrow. I will talk about those 2 films. I might try to see Thor Ragnarok at some point, but that's probably not going to be for a weekend or so, because the festival's happening, and I'm going to have like no time. But yeah, I will do an AFI Fest coverage, and I'll talk about those 2 movies in a separate video. Thanks for watching.